Hey, Taff found an out-of-this-world story from our space. Being in a relationship means growing alongside one another. Half the fun is in exploration. Today on our space, a cheater looks to her male friends in order to expand her horizons. Girlfriend cheated on me with her college friends, thinking I too would be cheating, as I was a DJ. Hi everyone, I'm Jose, 25 male, and I was in a relationship with my girlfriend, Mia, 22 female, for 2 years before I found out she was cheating on me. Mia and I first met at a bar where I used to work as a bartender. I noticed her from the first day I resumed work at the bar as a bartender. She came with a group of her male and female friends to order some shots, and in the process, she started flirting with me. It wasn't my first time as a bartender, and I knew it was common for pretty girls like Mia to play and flirt with bartenders, so I played along with her. Somehow we became friends instantly, and every other time she visited the bar, we talked. It happened almost all the time, and as time passed, we became closer, and in a couple of months, I was already tripping for her. It was a mutual feeling because all the nights she spent with me at the bar talking, laughing, and waiting for me to wrap up so I could walk her to her apartment was definitely a sign that she liked me too. Eventually, I asked her out, and we started dating in less than 2 months of meeting each other. Aside from working as a bartender, I also worked as a part-time DJ, and tried my hands on a few other things that could make me some quick bucks. Mia was a state college student, and her parents did most of the funding. Unfortunately, I didn't go to college because I couldn't afford it. I didn't want to get a student loan because I had no plans of putting my life on hold for the next couple of years to clear the debt racked up by some dumb student loan. It was because I grew up with a mother with serious debt problems. I did not intend to live in constant worry and anxiety. So the relationship between Mia and I was heavenly in the beginning. She was sweet, caring, and precisely the kind of girl I needed. All her friends knew we were a thing, and she would bring them to the bar to spend time with us. The time Mia and I first met, she was in her final year, and somehow, within the last 2 semesters, her father fell very ill. As a result of his illness, they could not fund her as they did in the previous sessions. Things got terrible for her. She could not even afford to pay for the studio apartment she lived in, and out of love and compassion, I asked her to move in with me, so she could channel the money she would have used for rent to her demands in school. I took full responsibility for everything when Mia eventually moved in with me. I didn't ask her to contribute to the rent because her presence did not make a difference. I paid for utilities, I bought groceries, and occasionally loaned her some money. I did all this because I loved her so much and saw a future with her. I also did these things because I expected that she would get a good job once she was done with college, and from there, things would get better. So she would no longer have to depend on me or her parents for money. Also, when her father fell sick and insurance could not cover all the expenses, she asked me to lend her money, and she would pay it back in installments as soon as she got a job. This was the most significant money I loaned her, and it was all the money I had been saving to upgrade my DJ toys. But because I believed we were a couple, and she would pay me back as soon as she got on her feet, I didn't think twice before giving it to her. Eventually, things happened as I expected. A few months after Mia graduated from college, she got a well-paying job. Her pay was way better than what I earned. After a few months of savings, we moved into a bigger apartment. It was so big, but it was more comfortable than my old apartment. Its appliances were also updated. At this point, we had gotten so attached because we had lived together for almost a year. Like her parents, my parents and siblings also knew we were together, and they knew we lived together. My mother loved Mia, maybe because she didn't have a daughter, and always welcomed me with open arms whenever we visited home. I won't pretend like I was the perfect boyfriend because I wasn't. There were days when Mia and I fought and said many hurtful words to each other, and 9 out of 10 times, she was the cause of our fight. I expected that as we got more serious in our relationship, she would reduce how she hung out with her male college friends, but nothing changed. After Mia finished college, she and her friends kept in touch and would all meet at least once a month. Now, I didn't have an issue with her hanging out with her friends or occasionally chatting with them. My only problem was that she was still awfully close to 2 of her male friends despite being in a relationship with me. For example, she would sit in their lap of social gathering and a party. She'd do that twice in front of me and drove me crazy. It was almost like she blatantly disobeyed me. Even when I told her I didn't like it the first time, she did it again. As if that wasn't enough, she chatted with him every day and told him about everything that was going on in her life and her relationship. In fact, if she had good news to share, she would likely tell them before she told me. It was a no for me, and each time I complained about it, she would either say I was jealous or say I acted and sounded that way because I had never had an opposite gender as a best friend. Whatever happened to her having a female best friend? As a man, I could tell when another man was sexually checking out a lady. And this was precisely what her so-called best friends did whenever they were together. Whenever I drew it to her attention, she would discard it and say I was being dramatic. And anytime we fought, it just had to be because of her male best friends. Eventually, I stopped talking about it when she told me that both men who were formerly dating her friends are now gay. That was the reason she was always free around them. She knew she could certainly not have anything to do with them now that they were gay. Like a fool in love, I believed everything she said. As time passed, I no longer worry about her male friends because she had convinced me that they were gay, and she even showed me a couple of pictures that showed them together. Remember when I said I loaned her some money to help repay the debt they racked up for her father's surgery? I expected that she would slowly pay back the money, so I could do what I wanted to do with it. But each time I reminded her about the loan, she would jokingly say I should forget about the money because she was my girlfriend. At least thrice, I told her I couldn't forget about the money, mainly because it took me almost 2 years of sacrificing the things I loved to save for it. The loan was nearly $8,000, which was a lot of money for me. About 4 months after we celebrated our first anniversary, I started bugging her about the loan, and that was when she began to change. Whenever I mentioned the loan to her, she would tell me I was making money from the shows and events I attended as a DJ, and I could afford to upgrade my tools if I wanted to, and I should forget about the money. It was really annoying to hear that because she literally begged me to help her with the money and promised that she would pay me back once she got a job. I feel like I shot myself in the leg because I was the one who told her about the money I was saving out of excitement, and it didn't cross my mind that she would ask me to lend it to her. Her change started with her walking out on me in anger whenever I mentioned the loan. Then she told her friends about it, including her male friends I was uncomfortable with. One day, I was at home sleeping, and she had her friends over at the house. While trying to cook for them, she realized she had run out of an essential ingredient, so she went out with one of her male friends, leaving one guy and 2 ladies to look after what she was cooking. As soon as she left, they started talking about how she chose to end up with someone like me. They said that the worst part was that I was stingy and refused to forget about the money I lent her. My guess was they didn't know I was in the bedroom sleeping. And when I flushed the toilet in the room and stepped out to let them know I was home and heard all they said, their faces went pale. Later that day, after her friends left, I confronted me about what I had heard, and instead of apologizing, she was pissed and accused me of eavesdropping on her friends' conversations. Meanwhile, when I asked her to start paying back the loan, we no longer got intimate. She told me to my face that we would no longer make love unless I stopped asking her for money. Initially, I decided to play the game with her, but as it turned into weeks, I got tired and realized our relationship was falling apart with our distance and her constant yelling and nagging. So after thinking about it, I decided I wouldn't let $8,000 ruin our relationship. So I stopped asking her for it. You might call me crazy, but this felt like the right thing to do then. We fought and argued about the money. She stopped talking to me after our last fight, and we lived like angry inmates in the same house. I also noticed that her friends never came to the house anymore after what happened last time. Each time I bumped into any of them, they would act so cold and look at me like they had seen a leper. When she started keeping malice with me, I thought it would be only for a day or two as usual, but she kept dragging it. Also, she started sleeping on the couch and wouldn't even come home on some nights. I knew that I had said hurtful words to her in her last fight. I called her a witch for telling her friends about the loan, but it wasn't like she didn't say hurtful words to me or call me names. She did. So I didn't understand why she was still brooding over what I said. When I had enough of her childishness, I apologized and promised to be her romantic slave for a week. This is something we used to do a lot, and my plan worked. With time, we became close and our relationship felt like we were dating for the first time again. As promised, I did whatever she wanted for a whole week. Bought her chocolates and the other things she loved, and even went as far as bathing her at night. It's not like I was desperate. I only wanted to fix things between us, so we could return to the peaceful and loving couple we used to be. But 3 weeks after we had settled our issues, which was last week, I found something that ruined our relationship. That day, I was watching TV in the living room while she was in the kitchen cooking. She had left her phone to charge in the living room. I noticed she had a series of message notifications coming simultaneously, and I wondered who kept texting her. As I tried to focus on the movie I was watching, her phone began to vibrate, and one of her male friend's pictures popped on her phone screen. I tried to call her, but she couldn't hear me since she was blending something. When her friend didn't stop calling, I took the phone to her so I could have my peace. As soon as I unplugged her phone to take it to her, it stopped ringing, and I got a glimpse of all the WhatsApp messages sent to her. One of them read, "Don't forget to burn the lube. You know how big I am." The shocking part was that it came from the same male friend that called her 4 times. It took me a while to wrap my head around what I had read, and immediately I got to her in the kitchen. I asked her to unlock her phone. Earlier, I knew her password. I tried to unlock it twice, and it didn't open. I knew something was off because she changed it. Immediately, she got the phone from me and saw the message. She refused to unlock it. She said she was busy and would unlock it for me when she was done cooking. The moment she gave me that response, my suspicions were confirmed. Without beating around the bush, I asked her if she was sleeping with any of her friends, and her face went red. She tried to deny it, but when her eyes locked with mine and she saw a mad look on my face, she started crying and fell to her knees. She admitted she had a threesome twice with them because I pushed her away. It happened during the weeks we were not talking to each other. The main reason she did was that her friends convinced her that I would also be cheating on her with other women since I'm a part-time DJ, and she foolishly believed them. It was painful to hear that because being a full-time, part-time DJ had nothing to do with infidelity. I swear I had never been with another woman throughout our 2 years of dating. Yes, I flirted in the past and had one-night stands, but I stopped all that as soon as we started dating. When she told me that she slept with the same male friends, which she told me were gay, it turned out she had lied to me. She confessed that her 2 friends weren't gay, as she painted them to be. She asked them to snap a picture that would make them look so. She showed those pictures to me, and that way, I stopped bugging her about hanging out or being close to them. That wasn't all. I also found out her 2 male friends were still in a relationship with her 2 close female friends. She lied about them breaking up too. So she didn't just betray me by cheating on me. She also betrayed her friends, the girls that were like sisters to her. As I stood there listening to her talk and cry, I still could not believe Mia cheated on me with the same men I warned her against. That was the height of betrayal to me. She didn't even reveal that she had slept with them more than once. After I questioned her about the lube in the WhatsApp message, she told me she met them every week to explore new styles. The funny thing was, their affair had been going on for weeks. I was so heartbroken and devastated that her cries and pleas for forgiveness sounded like noise. That same day, I packed a few clothes and angrily left the house. It's been 2 weeks now, and she has not stopped calling me. She says she has ended things with her male friends and promises it will never happen again. I do love her, but I cannot stand the thought of 2 men sleeping with her. I have listened to all her voicemails, voice notes, and read her messages. I've told her I cannot be with a woman who will cheat on me and run to other men whenever we fight, and she has been begging me to call her back so we talk and fix things, and I shouldn't let her little mistake ruin our happy relationship. Honestly, I only care about getting my $8,000 back right now because things can never remain the same way with us. I think that's all fair, OP. Try to get the money back, but honestly, don't expect to get it. You likely won't see that again. I'm so sorry she played you like this. And not only you, but her good friends. She sounds like the worst kind of person. After all you did for her, what was so wrong with the relationship that she couldn't explore new styles with you? Maybe her kink is cheating? Maybe she gets off on knowing you're at home waiting for her while she's exploring with other men. Yikes. Update 1. Hello everyone. Thank you for your comments. The truth is, I never knew Mia was such a manipulative and entitled person until this happened. As someone commented, I'm so sure she wouldn't take me back if the reverse were the case. Now that I think about it, I suspect she must have been sleeping with them behind my back because her story doesn't add up. As for my money, I took legal action like most of you advised, and she has been served. The court hearing is in a week, and I wanted to make an update before we go to court. Meanwhile, it's been over a month since I moved out of the house, but she still calls me. She claimed we have not officially broken up, so there's still a chance for us to talk and fix things. Funny how she's a college graduate, yet she's so dumb. I don't need to tell her to her face that we have broken up for her to get that. There's nothing between us anymore, and they can never be. To think I warned her about those male friends several times, but she wouldn't listen and go as far as lying to me. I recently found out that her female friends had no idea she was doing their boyfriends. I'm wondering if I'll go overboard if I tell them about it. Mia still hangs out with them. And from the last picture one of her friends posted on Facebook, they all look so happy on their girls' night out. The main gist was last week. Mia called me with a different number after she got served and sounded very angry on the phone. She said I was sick and needed help if I believed she would pay back the $8,000 because she also did things for me in our relationship and never asked me to pay her back. And I should think about it before I humiliate myself in court. I didn't say anything to her, and I ended the call. I have learned my lesson and will never lend anyone such an amount of money again unless I don't intend to get it back. I'm worried because we didn't have any written agreement, one they agreed verbally, and I hope it can be used as evidence in court. Anyway, however things turn out, it's all for the better. I will make another update after we return from court. Honestly, money might be the root of all evil. I'm sorry she took advantage of the fact that you're a good person and wanted to help her out of the goodness of your heart. But just because someone went to college doesn't make them intelligent by any means. What else do you have to do to officially break up? You served her papers and moved out of the house. I'm pretty sure that means you're broken up in any language. Moreover, I truly wonder what she would do if you told her friends what she did to them. Everything always reveals itself in time. Maybe we just have to be patient. Or maybe you can help karma out just this once. Update 2. Hello guys. I'm so happy to announce that I won the case. Yes, the court ruled in my favor, and Mia admitted that she agreed to pay me in installments as soon as she got a job. She also countersued me for all the money she spent on me, thinking the judge would make me pay. But her plans failed. According to her counterclaim, she bought me an expensive pair of shoes, a hoodie, and a pair of jeans on our first anniversary. She claimed it was to pay back part of the money she owed me, but we never discussed that. She also said she did other things for me, like paying to have my car fixed so she could drive it to work. She mainly drove it, and other things. But the judge didn't have it. He dismissed her counterclaim and ordered her to pay me my $8,000. Another good news is I told her friends that she slept with their boyfriends, and they found out it was true upon investigation. They were so mad that they posted pictures of her online and wrote all kinds of negative things about her. They also went to her parents' house on the weekend she was there and confronted her, which resulted in a wild catfight. On my end, I reached out to her parents and told them I could no longer date their daughter because she was a cheating whore and a betrayer. As I share this, her friends have officially cut ties with her, and her parents have kicked her out of the house in disappointment. She has lost everything, our relationship and her friends, and she will have to live with her parents' disappointment for the rest of her life. So, someone here commented that after I ruined her friendship, I should let her know I was responsible for it. That's exactly what I did. After everything went south, I texted her that I ratted her out and hoped she loved her new life. Out of anger, she came to the bar I worked at and created a scene before she was thrown out. She called me names and said she dated me out of pity and should have listened to her friends. She even went as far as saying she has learned to never play with pigs again, whatever that means. Most importantly, I got my money back, and she's out of my life forever. Thank you everyone for your comments. This community is incredible, and I love you all. Way to go, OP. She got exactly what was coming for her. Now she has all the time in the world to do all kinds of exploring. What do you make of this? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And thank you for joining us today on Our Space. Be sure to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. Until next time.